Plywood achieved.
Haha, wood.
Well, hello there, Vanny fans. How's it going? I just wanted to drop by and show you some stuff because basically what happened is we finished the solar install and got electricity, and then we did a bajillion things all at once, and we didn't film it because honestly we were just working. It was like, okay, we got this done, okay, we got that done, and it's really been very exciting because that means that now we have electricity, and today maybe in theory we're gonna have running water. But before we dive into that, I wanted to show you some of these things that we did and didn't film. Honestly, most of them are no-brainers. They're not really like, oh, you need to watch this tutorial to learn how to do XYZ. A lot of it has been just basic carpentry, further applications of the flooring, and some other stuff that's like really not that complicated. So we wanted to save all the juicy stuff for you and just kind of get some of these things done. So gonna give you a quick little tour, and then later today we're gonna dive into trying to get water running in the van. Okay, let's start at the rear. So one thing that I did yesterday was put up this awning. I don't know if you can see everything. It's kind of a weird angle to capture, but basically what this is your basic tarp that's UV resistant. This is PVC pipe, about 5 feet of it. And then these are flagpole attachee thingies, brackets, whatever you want to call them. These are attached with just some basic hooks on either side. What we're gonna do is, when we don't have a depth, remove each of the PVC pipes from their brackets, fold them inwards, roll it up, and then just tuck it up at the top of the van and use some bungee cords to keep it still, and we have DIY awnings. Very simple, very inexpensive. Project number 2 was completing this platform back here. We had already showed you the platform that came to like about here that was 1/4 inch plywood. We decided to really thicken it up and make sure it was super sturdy. It is no joke. Jake did an awesome job. Another thing that I did just to test it out, I wired our very first thing on our DC fuse block, and that is a couple of these puck lights. We have 6 or 8 in total, I can't remember. But I just wanted to test them out and make sure that they were working. As you can see, they are remote controlled, and you can adjust the brightness. You can also make them do like wavy things, which, you know, we're not really interested in for a kitchen light. And we know that when it's time to install the ceiling and put the wiring up there, they're ready to go. Next, we installed these. These are retractable leashes for Ziggy and Butters. Okay, so this happened yesterday. Obviously, it is not done. This is just dry fitted. But I'll give you a little tour because this is probably what we're gonna be working on today. So we have a faucet, a sink, and then this is going to be the faucet for our filtered water. We got a special water filter. We had to go and get a whole bunch of pipe fittings. We didn't know what we were doing. Luckily, there was a man in Lowe's who was very helpful. I think he is a plumber. Thank you, sir, for your assistance while we were trying to find what we needed. But basically, this water system is pretty simple. I wanted to use water tanks that were movable so that we didn't have to fill up our water always at like a filling station with a hose, nor did I want to mount something underneath the van or have something that, like, if it was leaking, that we couldn't get to it easily. So I opted for these 6-gallon jugs. We actually have 3. We have one more. This is going to be the fresh. This is going to be the gray. Gray water is what comes out of the sink. I already started working on some of the fittings, but basically there's going to be a hose that comes from here and goes into here, and this will be our wastewater. So we have our fresh water, and the water is going to come out of here. It's going to go through a strainer, and then it's going to go into our water pump. On the other side of the water pump, we're going to have a hose, and then that hose is going to split for hot and cold. So the hot is going to go to this hot water heater that we have back here that we're only going to turn on for showers or for, you know, anything else that we might need, and it is propane run. Then the cold out of that split is going to split again. One is going to go into our water filter and then be run up through this fancy tap, and the other is just going to go straight to the cold tap. This is not a cheap water filter, but we went with this water filter because of how sensitive it is. One of the most popular water filters for RVers, van lifers, campers, etc. is the Berkey water filter. But the Berkey is really bulky. It's a countertop thing and it would take up a huge amount of space. So we knew we didn't want to go with that. So this water drop filter is a 3-stage filter, and it can filter down to 0.01 microns. We wanted something where we really didn't have to worry about our drinking water, no matter where we were getting it from. So we went with this puppy. This, of course, is our fridge. We're still framing out this whole countertop situation, but basically we're just gonna be able to pull this out and push it back in, and then in the space between that and the countertop, we're gonna have a nice deep drawer for, you know, utensils and kitchen stuff. And then over here hiding is our toilet. And this piece of countertop will actually fit over it, and it's gonna hinge up and like connect up there so that we have counter space when we're not using the restroom. And then there's the shower, which I know is a big thing everybody has been wanting to know about. We're gonna pull it out. It has casters on it that lock so that it won't move while we're standing here. What this actually is a laundry sink. It was the most inexpensive thing we could find that would accommodate us standing in it and would be able to drain water the way we want. This tube will connect to that, and then we're literally just gonna run it out the doors when we're showering, because we're planning on using biodegradable soap, so it really shouldn't be a situation where we have to safely dump the water. And then for washing, you can kind of see in here, we have this. Basically what I'm planning on doing is that tip on the end of the faucet here is removable. And I have another adapter that we're gonna put on here that'll probably be on there all the time. And all it is like, it has like a regular spout, it's got like a little dial, and then it's got an offshoot. And basically what you can do is you can divert the water coming out of here to the shower handle with little to no effort. So basically what we'll do is we'll fire up our hot water, get everything going, test the temperature, flip it over to the shower head here, which has an on-off switch directly on it, so we won't just be wasting water getting in and out of the shower. We'll only turn it on when we're, you know, actually needing to rinse. And then we obviously sawed off part of this because the sink was actually like this deep, and we saved about 1 inch of it. And what I'm planning on doing is creating a magnet situation with a shower curtain and basically sticking it up to the ceiling whenever we're ready to take a shower, and we'll just run the hose in and that'll be that. And then also back here you can see this is where we're running our propane for the hot water, and then we'll also have propane over here for our stove. We didn't want to have any propane at all, but unfortunately I just don't think our solar array is going to be able to handle doing everything without propane. So that's that. I think that's a decent tour of any and all additions that have kind of taken place since we last saw you and put in the solar panels. So today my goal is to get that water pump wired, get all of our hoses and fixins all put together, and then to see if we can pump some water into the gray tank and see what happens. I'm gonna throw this on time lapse and let you watch me put silicone on these things, and then I guess we'll dive into the wetter stuff. So here are the 2 wires that I have coming from the water pump. I stripped the wires, and so what I'm gonna do is put them on the DC fuse block. I'm installing my 10 amp fuse. I'm gonna unscrew the positive. Ooh, okay. What? Oh my god, you guys. Well, something works. Watch this, when I just touch the negative to the lead. Yeah. Not great. Okay, well, at least I know the wiring works-ish. Now I have to go figure out what the hell is going on. We have hooked up the pump. We have solved a bunch of the leaking issues. It seems like everything's working. We're just working on the cold tap now.
So you want to turn that shit on? We can see if this shit works.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's give it the old college fail. The old college try. That's when you try something and it costs $30,000. Okay, it's on. Now I'm gonna see what happens when I bypass it. Okay, so what's happening is it's rattling because the filter's in use. Whoa, it's really rattling. Okay.
It looks like maybe some water is coming out.
Yeah, a little tiny bit. All right. No, keep it on. Keep it on.
I didn't stop it.
Oh, it's still going? Like maybe once it reaches a certain fill amount in the filter, it just stops pumping or something?
Probably will.
Okay, here we go. All right. Cold tap on, all right?
Yeah.
Boom, works. Okay, now, filter boy, filter buddy. Ready?
Yep. Just a little off.
Oh! What happens if I do this? Both at once! Hold on.
I didn't
Filter,
use anything.
beep, tap, beep, filter and tap both at once, beep. Yo, we're not hooked into any kind of city line or anything. Like, this is just jugs of water in the van. This is all 1,000% homemade. I mean, it sounds like fucking Jurassic Park when we turn it on, but...
It works.
All right, that's the tap. All right, let's see. Let's do a taste test. Okay, out of the tap, it tastes like trash. It works, dude.
Yeah?
It fucking works. Turn it on! Stop wasting water.
We can refill it.
Now the filter. Now listen, take a taste test out of the tap. It's tap.
That water's delicious.
Yeah, that water tastes like a balloon.
It's pure plastic.
It's a balloon.
Okay, well.
Hey, listen, we can slam these wires down. We know this works now. Slam them down.
What up? We have running water.
Okay, turn it off.
But yeah, it's working. Our jerry can, completely jerry rigged, made up, homemade water system is
down to
functional.
the counter and the sink itself and everything.
Yep.
Every single piece of furniture here was hand jammed in here. Plumbing.